Hey everyone, welcome to Ready for Brazil. I am Michael. I'll be your host and guide and teacher as we'll learn everything there is to know about the Portuguese language and Brazil, whether it's for work, school, travel, or you just want to learn another language just to better yourself. This is going to be your #1 resource. Give us a try, give us some videos. I'm sure you'll like it. I promise you it'll be interesting. I promise you it'll be interactive. So, it's our first lesson. We're going to talk about some basic verbs and pronouns. Stick with us. If you have any questions or any comments in general, please leave something in the commentary section, and I'll definitely answer you. And let's get to it. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to Ready for Brazil's first lesson in learning the Portuguese language. My name is Michael. I'm going to take you through this lesson. And today, we're just going to start out with the basics. So I urge you, stick with me. Don't get bored. I know it can be kind of simple, but in the end, it'll be a good foundation for learning the Portuguese language. So let's get to it. So on the agenda today, pronouns, he, she, I, you, they. Articles, such as the word the. Right? In Portuguese, there's several different ways of saying the, depending on the context and the amount of subjects in question. And then two very basic verbs, ser and estar. So in Portuguese, the translation for I is eu. It's pronounced eu. E-U. Eu. For you, it's pronounced você. I have circled here this little circumflex, this little symbol. We'll learn about accents and things like that in further lessons, but right now I really just want you to get familiar with the actual word itself. So you, você, você, você. For he or she, it translates into ele and ela, ele and ela. Ellie and Ella. For we, it is nos, nos, nos. For they, it's pretty much just a plural of Ellie and Ella, so it comes out to Ellies and Ellas. Ellies, Ellas. Ellies, Ellas. Now we'll move on to definite articles. So pretty much the word the in English gives you a couple different, actually more than a couple of different ways of saying it in Portuguese. So as you see here as they're written, depending on whether it's masculine or feminine, and even if it's singular or plural, there are different forms of the word the, right? So for a singular masculine word, just say the cat, right? A cat. Portuguese, it would be o gato, right? So why is it o? Okay, because the word gato is a masculine word. More or less, you can make this judgment if the word ends in an o or an a most of the time. Okay, so as the word ends with an o, there's an o in front of the word. The cat, the cat. For a feminine thing, say the table would be a mesa. Why? Ends with an A, starts with an A, in most cases. Okay. Now for plural things, right? Let's just do the same example. So, os gatos. Why is it os gatos? It's a masculine word, ends with an O, and it's plural. Os gatos. Same thing here. As mesas. Ends with an AS, begins with an AS. As mesas. Now for indefinite articles, it's a little bit different. So an indefinite article is more or less the word in English, right? So a cat, a table, okay? So in Portuguese, you can say gato. I'll stick with the same examples just so it's easier to see. So this isn't saying the cat, it's saying a cat. Gato, a cat. Okay. Or if you want a feminine example, we can say uma mesa, right? a table, right? Okay, now we get to the good stuff, right? So in English, if you want to describe yourself or someone or something, use the verb to be, right? I am, is, are. In Portuguese, there's two different ways of using this, actually, and it can be kind of tricky when learning. So there's two verbs, and I'll remind you that these verbs that you see here, Estar and Estar, these are the, we say, unconjugated, the root verbs, right? So you'll see what I mean in the next slide, because we'll actually never use this word SCR, we'll use a form of that. Okay, so I'll show you. So use the word ser for personal facts. So I am Michael. That is true, that's a personal fact. I am from the United States, right? Or constant condition. So something that is factual, something that is biographical, use the word ser. Estar is more of a location. So I am in the United States, or I am going to the United States. And we'll see these in the upcoming slides. So for ser, right? Remember, it's personal things, biographical things, things that are truths. Okay? So before we actually get to kanji, I want to show you something. This chart here, something that you'll need for every verb you learn. Okay? So it has each of the pronouns, right? So that we see here. It'll also be a complementary form of the verb. So for ser, be eu sou. So that actually translates into I am. So here, it's it's pronounced e. So it could be you are, right? Or for these, it would be he or she, or she is, right? Nos somos, we are. And você is actually, I haven't taught you that yet, but it's another pronoun. It isn't used as frequently as it seems. So it pretty much means you, plural, use. All right, so I'm from New Jersey, we say that anyway, use guys, you know. But really, it's just plural, use. And Ellies and Ellas, also, so they are. They are, so they are. Okay, so you have to memorize these charts for every verb, right? Because knowing the pronoun is not enough. Knowing the verb is not enough. You have to know the form of the verb that goes with the pronoun. So let's do some examples using pronouns with the verb ser. Right? So I am Michael. Eu sou Michael. Now why is it eu sou? Because if you look up at the chart that we just went through, you'll see that the form of the verb ser for eu, for I, is so. So eu sou, I am. Okay. It's always helpful to draw the chart actually, right? So eu sou, você é, nós somos, Ellies. Always helpful to draw that. Okay. So with that in mind, let's move on to another example. So você é Paulo. What does that mean? So let's look at the chart. So você is you. A is are. Paulo. You are Paulo, right? So most important thing you can do at this point, memorize these verb tables, okay? Because like I said, every verb has several forms depending on the pronoun in question. So now the verb estar, right? So we talked about that briefly, but estar is a little bit different from ser because it talks about not necessarily personal facts or origin, but more or less, you know, your location or what you're doing at that particular moment, right? So for example, you would say, eu sou americano, I am American, but if you're talking about the location where you are, you would actually say eu estou nos Estados Unidos. I am in the United States, right? So eu estou nos Estados Unidos. I'm in the United States. Eu estou. Eu estou. If you want to say, let's do this. He is tired. How would you go about doing that? Ele está cansado. You wouldn't use ser. You wouldn't say ele é cansado. Cansado is a mood, right? You're tired, you're in a mood. It isn't necessarily a personal fact, right? It isn't a universal truth, right? So you'd say, he is tired, ele está cansado. So let's do one for nos. So we are in Brazil. Nos, look at the chart, nos estamos no Brasil. We are in Brazil. Just remember, we and the we form of the verb estar. Right? So you just have to match the pronoun with the form of the verb. So let's review. We talked about some very basic things here. We talked about pronouns, right? Eu, você, ele, ela, he or she. Right? About nós, which is we. Vocês is you, plural. And then eles, elas, they, right? So once again, eu, você, ele, ela, nós, vocês, eles, elas. Okay. Besides that, we also talked about the articles, right? So before a subject word, right, you have to put the word the, like in English, so the cat, right? So the cat would go to o gato. Depending on the gender of the verb, or the word, excuse me, you put the proper article in front of it. So if it ends with an O, normally it's a masculine verb, or masculine word. You'd put O, so the cat. Right? And there's a feminine form, and then this the plural, masculine, plural, feminine also, right? So O, os, Also talked about the verbs ser and estar. So ser, once again, is something like your origin or personal fact or truth, right? So I am Michael, I'm American, I am tall, right? And then you also have estar, right? And that's more location or temporary action or a mood, right? And each of these has their own little chart, right, to conjugate. So, eu sou, ele é, somos, são, right? For estar, you have estou, está, estamos, and estão. There you have it. That's the first lesson. So thank you for being a part of this. This is the very first lesson. I was very happy to do this, and I'm excited to do more. So please stick around. It'll only get more interesting as you learn more detailed things and get around these very basic matters of the Portuguese language. So thank you for your time. Have a nice day.